Now if you're making the same bag that I am, we're going to grab our category 4 yarn, make a slip knot, grab our 5mm hook, and then make a chain of 45. Once we have our chain of 45, we're going to block off the very last chain that we did. Chain up 3, this counts as a double crochet, prepare for a double crochet. Then we're going to go ahead and double crochet in that chain that we blocked off, or the 4th loop from the hook. And we're going to be double crocheting once in every loop all the way down. So we've done one double crochet all the way down, and I left the last one. In the very last one, we're going to do an increase, and we're going to be doing 3 double crochet into that last loop. And then 3, and then when you have your increase, we're going to turn our work. We're not going to flip it, we're going to turn it, and then we're going to be working down the other end of the chain that we just made. So go ahead and prepare for a double crochet. We're going to double crochet once into all the loops that we have with another increase on the end, but I'll show you how to do that when we get there. So we just worked our way back down our chain in another row of double crochet, and then from here we're going to do another increase, and we have the chain 3 that we did on left. So we're going to prepare for double crochet, and then we're going to insert our hook into there, and we're going to do 2 double crochet into that last loop, and then connect it to the chain 3 because the chain 3 did count as a double crochet. Connect it with a slip stitch, and this is our first row. And from here we're going to chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and then from here we're just going to be double crocheting once into every loop, and we're going to be doing this for 2 more rows, so in total 3. So 1, 2, the one that we're working on, and then 1 more on top of that, and I'll meet you once when we're done. So I just finished our 3 rows, and I went ahead and connected it with a slip stitch so that it's all one piece. And from here we're going to work on our rows of net. So from here we're going to chain up 3, this counts as a double crochet, and then we're also going to chain up 2, so 5 in total. We're going to prepare for a double crochet, and then we're going to skip the next 2 loops, and then we're going to double crochet into the 3rd loop, just like that. And then we're going to chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, and we're going to skip the next 2 loops, double crochet into the 3rd. And then for the first 2 rows, so this one and the one after, we're not going to do any pattern through it. We're just going to be doing rows of net. So I'll meet you once when we have those done. So I just got finished with my 2 rows of net, and now we're going to start this pattern. And for me, just to make sure that we're on the same page, go ahead and count, see how many of these loops that you have facing forward. It should be roughly 15, and if it's the same, then let's continue. We're going to do 3 nets, 4, 5. Here's net 1, net 2, and net 3. And now we're going to start the pattern, and as you can see, we're going to need to start doing solid ones. And for the solid ones, we're just going to go in with 1 double crochet per loop that we have. Here is the first solid loop that we have, and from here, as you can see, we're starting with the bottom portion of the E, and this is going to be 3 loops, and these are 3 consecutive loops. There's no breaks in between. So here's 1 square, here is the 2nd square, and then 1 more. And so this, as you can see, this is 3 solid loops, and this represents the bottom row of the E, and then from here there's going to be a break, and then we're going to start the bottom portion of the S. So we're going to chain 2 and double crochet into the next one, and this is our break in between the E and the S that we're about to start. And then go ahead and do 3 solid squares for the bottom of the S, and then the same thing for the U, and then we're just going to do nets all the way around. Now we're about to start on our 2nd row of pattern. As you can see, I did 3 solid loops 3 times for the bottom of the U, S, and the E, and I'm sure you guys can figure it out because y'all are smart, but we're just gonna do the 2nd row just to show you guys one more time, and then we'll be on our way. But for these first 3 loops, there's not going to be anything here, so I just did 1. For the E, because that's where we're at right now, we're going to do 2 blanks and a solid. So how we're going to do that is chain 2, prepare for a double crochet, go ahead and double crochet in the same row as all these pillars or in the 3rd loop from the hook. Chain 2 and do the same thing because this is also a blank. And then for the very last one, we're going to do a solid. So go ahead and double crochet. Now that's all that we have to do for the E. Now we're going to move on to the S, and we're going to do the space in between. So go ahead and chain 2, double crochet. And then for this one, we're going to do 1 solid and then 2 blanks. So go ahead and do your solid spot for the S. There, and then now we're going to do our 2 blanks. So there's that, and then another blank. Now this is the E, this is the S, and now we're going to do the U. But first we need to do the blank space in between, so go ahead and chain 2, double crochet, just like that. Now we're going to work on the U, so it's a solid blank and a solid. So let's do 1 solid, and then a blank, so chain 2, and then double crochet, and then 1 more solid. And then once we're done with that, we are going to do a row of net to finish this off. And then I'm sure you guys can figure it out, but go ahead and follow this pattern if you're doing the same exact one as me, and then I'll show you how to do the rest of this when we get there. So we just got finished with doing the word use. As you can see, that's it. And then as for right now, we're going to do 2 more rows of net, and then we're going to do the RE on top of it. So do 2 rows of net, and then I'll meet you once when we're done. So we just got done doing our 2 rows of net, and now we're going to start on the R and the E. It's going to be the same idea as we did for the USE on the bottom, and I'll show you what to do once we have all of it done. So we're done with our phrase reuse, and what we're going to do now is 2 more rows of net. So we just finished up our 2 rows of net, and now we are going to do the solid portion where the handles are going to be. But as of right now, we're just going to be doing 2 rows of double crochet. So we just finished the 2 solid rows of double crochet, and now we're going to work on the handles. But what we're going to do first is section off where we want our handles to be, and these are just going to be some little guys. So we're going to insert our hook once we sectioned it off into where our markers are, and then from here you're going to count out how many loops you have, and then you're going to keep that same number. So mine is 18, so I'm going to make a chain of 18 and then connect it to the other side, and then do the same thing on the back end. So once we've done our 2 chains on the front and the back, I didn't cut and tie in the back because we can just continue with the pattern, but from here all you're going to do is chain up 3, prepare for a double crochet, and then double crochet once into every loop that we have, and we're going to do 2 rows of that. And this is our finished product. We finished up the last 2 rows of our double crochet that ended up making the handles, and I've woven in all the ends as well. And from here you can add a long strap or a drawstring, whatever you want really. This bag is infinitely customizable. But no matter what your bag comes out looking like, be sure to tag me on Instagram and Twitter, both at TCDDIY, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I think I'm going to get some shopping done today, so I will see y'all in the next one.